Climate change is one of the defining issues of our time. It is an issue that companies and strategic communications professionals increasingly must address. While most scientists agree that human activity is warming the globe, the subject remains controversial in certain respects. For this workshop, let's assume you work for a company where the leadership believes strongly that climate change is a fact and wants to take action. What should you, as a communications professional, do to advance your company's position? And how do you balance that with the knowledge that some groups commonly called stakeholders, such as people who invest in your company or do business with your company or work alongside you, may not agree? Developing a strong communications plan helps promote your company and protect its reputation. That plan and the strategic messaging it includes can influence the public's perception, even among those who may disagree about climate change. The news reports you are about to see are real. They cover an announcement made earlier this year on sustainability, including climate change. These reports from PBS and CNBC will help inform our discussion when we meet next. Watch carefully and think about what you would do to make your company look better.
Earlier, we showed you the impact of wildfires in Australia. From fires to floods, the changing climate is affecting countries around the world. This past decade, in fact, was the hottest decade since data was first recorded. Scientists and activists have long been sounding the alarm. And this week, one of the larger players in investing and the markets joined the chorus. William Brangham explains how it might change the way America does business.
The investment firm BlackRock manages roughly $7 trillion. That makes it the largest asset manager in the world. Now, the firm has announced that environmental sustainability will be a core goal. In his influential yearly letter to companies, BlackRock CEO Lawrence Fink wrote, "Climate risk is investment risk, and that every government, company, and shareholder must confront climate change." Fink went on to say that the climate crisis will likely force, quote, "a fundamental reshaping of finance." The firm indicated it'll begin to move money away from heavily polluting industries like coal and into others with a greater focus on sustainability.
Let's switch and talk a little bit about Larry Fink and his annual letter, which is drawing a lot of attention this morning, in which he says that at the core of BlackRock's investing priorities in the future will be an evaluation of sustainability, carbon footprint, and a company's policies and practices with respect to climate change. It mimics or echoes a lot of what's going on in Europe among institutional investors. What do you think of this as a principle and a way to do business?
Well, I think it's fabulous. I think it says what the future investors are thinking. When I meet with younger investors, with the Robinhood people, with people who trade, millennials, they ask first, well, is the company just spoiling the environment? This is something that Mark Benioff from Salesforce has taught us, which is that you've got to make one of your stakeholders, not just your customers, not just your shareholders, not just your workers, but the earth. So I think this is an admission by Larry that we have to do it.
So yes, I think Larry Fink is making a mistake. If you look at, what he said in your interview, Andrew, there were two big red flags in that interview. The first was he said that, hey, when he was writing this new letter on his social responsibility compact and sustainability that he's doing with his investments on the firm level, he was very emotional as he wrote it. Why do you want an investment manager who's emotional about the investment decisions he's making? The second red flag on this was that you asked him, and this is the biggest one, you asked him about ERISA's mandate that you have to focus on the profitability of creating the highest investment returns for your investors. And he said, yes, he knows about that. He wishes he could change it. So he actually said he wishes he could change that mandate that you have to focus on creating the highest returns for your investors. Those are really troubling signs from a company that's now managing trillions of dollars for investors.
As you saw, some good publicity, some was not so good. This is what we are going to discuss. What is the role of a strategic communications team in promoting and protecting the company's reputation? What are the factors to consider in developing a communications plan on climate change for your company? Think about this video and the news reports as well as the information you have received by email. Eileen and Howard are looking forward to hearing your thoughts and sharing their experience.